The day has finally arrived. RJM has come out with a MIDI programmable overdrive pedal. Today, I'm going to show you how to control it. That's right, RJM has come out with the Overture, a MIDI programmable overdrive. You can access up to 100 presets. You can control it with expression. You can obviously control it over MIDI or without MIDI on the pedal itself. There is a ton you can do on this pedal, and today I'm going to show you how you can control it, set it up, and really get the most out of this pedal. What I'm not going to do today, because others have already done this better than I can, is I am not going to go through all the different sound options and the favorite sounds out there for this pedal. We're strictly going to talk about how you can set this up for your pedal board and control it easily with or without MIDI, with or without expression. So, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, first things first, let's get this thing set up as if it has just arrived to your house. You're using it for the first time and you want to set some MIDI channels and see how everything's going there. So let's go to the overhead camera and I will show you how to set this up. By default, this pedal is set to MIDI channel 1. If we want to change that, we have to go into the setup menu. To do that, all we're going to do is unplug the pedal, hold down the on-off, wait for the LEDs to stop cycling. And there we go. So what you're going to be able to do now is select the MIDI channel by by pushing down the mode button. And right now we're in channel 1, no LEDs, and we will cycle through 1 to 16 every push. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, back to 1. So we'll leave it on 1. You can also decide if the pedal powers up off or powers up on, and that is it. We are now out of the setup menu with one push of the on-off button. MIDI channel is set to channel 1, and now we can get into using and controlling the pedal. First thing you're going to want to do when you get this pedal out of the box is you are going to want to create your first preset or sound. And you want to be able to recall that sound whenever you want easily. What you're going to do to get this done is you can access on the pedal without MIDI. This is no need for MIDI here. You can access 2 banks. Bank 1 is red, bank 2 is green, and that's with one push of this button here on the left, either bank or solo, depending on the version you have. And then you can cycle through sounds by hitting both foot switches. Hit bank again and keep cycling. So right now we're going to be on preset 1 on the red bank, or bank 1, and we are going to find a sound. Put a bit of treble, reduce bass, we want some gain and volume, and we'll probably go for boutique. Let's see what this sounds like. So as you can see, it's a little bit too loud. We'll pull the volume back. Awesome. Now what we're going to do is hold mode, and that'll save the preset at its location. There we go. So that is how you save a preset. You can go to that same preset. Let's say we were on preset 3. We want to adjust preset number 1 again. We can just bank back to it. And we can make our adjustments, resave, and that is it. Without MIDI, we can actually save 8 sounds and access them easily on the pedal. But we obviously want to use MIDI today. So let's get into what this could look like with MIDI. Our MIDI channel is set up to channel 1, and all we are going to do now is program PC numbers that correspond to the pedal. PC number 0 will recall preset 1, PC number 1 will recall preset number 2, so on and so forth. You gotta do some pretty advanced math here and minus by 1, and that is the PC number in relation to the preset on the pedal. So as example, PC 99 is actually going to be preset 100 on the pedal itself. Pretty straightforward once you get the hang of it, but if you don't know that when you start, you're going to be confused because everything's going to be off by one number. So all I've done on the MIDI controller here, the PBC10, we're just using as MIDI today, all I've done is set this as PC 0, PC 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we have 5 presets here that we can instantly access, and it is pretty straightforward in how we're going to use it. So let's go to preset number 2. You can see on the pedal it's changed to preset 2, back to preset 1, preset 1. If I am on preset 2 and I just want to change it from classic to versatile, I stay on this preset, go to versatile, save it on the pedal, and that is it. The thing you need to remember about MIDI and recalling sounds on the pedal, MIDI does not actually save the sound itself. It's just telling the pedal, this is the sound I want you to access in your library of saved sounds on the pedal itself. So you need to save the sounds on the pedal, and the MIDI controller will then recall them from the pedal's memory. I know this sounds maybe like semantics, I'm just giving out kind of pointless details to confuse you, but this is a key thing to know about MIDI, is the controller is just accessing the memory bank on the pedal itself. It is not, in this instance, creating any sound from the MIDI controller itself. So now that you know how to recall a preset, you know how to save a preset and adjust a preset, all with or without MIDI, let's get into the really good stuff, which is expression. This opens up the capability of the pedal tenfold. I just picked tenfold because it was the first number that came to mind and sounded impressive. But this is an impressive feature, so I think it was valid. Let's get into using expression over MIDI. The first thing to note about Overture is you cannot plug an expression pedal into the pedal itself. You have to plug an expression pedal into your MIDI controller and then control different parameters on Overture over MIDI. As you can see on the camera here, I've hooked up an expression pedal to the expression jack on the MIDI controller. So now expression values are being sent to the MIDI controller, converted to MIDI, and then talking to the pedal. There are a couple of different ways we can use expression over MIDI. We can control one parameter, and that can be a global setting over expression. A really common one for this, for an overdrive, might be volume, and no matter what preset you're on, if you haven't set expression already, the expression pedal will just control the volume level. You could also do gain and pull gain back or forward. You can control any one parameter very easily over MIDI. And I'll show you this on the screen recording right now. I'm just in the RJM editor. And I'm just going up to expression here. And you can see what I've done. Device is Overture. CC number is 7, which is volume. And then we have a min value of 0, which is off, and max value is 127, which is like turning the volume all the way up on the MIDI controller itself. So this is set, I have this set up for preset number 1. Let's see what happens. So as you can see, volume was controlled. If we wanted to switch that to gain, it's as simple as going back to the screen. We'll go from number 7 or CC7, which is volume, and we will go down to drive, not gain, sorry. What a foolish mistake. And now let's do the same thing and see what happens. That's it. You can do this for treble, bass, gain, volume, all sorts of things across this pedal. See the manual if you want to get a full list of CC numbers that you can experiment with and see what really works for you. The other way you can do expression is a little bit more detailed and in-depth, but also allows more flexibility for controlling the pedal. This is where you would set the expression values for any number of knobs or values at the same time, and you can turn them all down or up as you sweep the expression pedal. This is probably better demonstrated than it is explained because I'm already confusing myself. So let's get into it. What you're going to do is on the pedal itself is you are going to hold down on and mode. Now you can see these left 3 LEDs are lit up. This is the heel position. So let's do something drastic here. We'll do bass down, treble up, gain back a little bit. And then you can hit the mode button. We'll do bass up, treble down, and gain quite a ways up. And now we hit on off. And that sound should be, hopefully, saved. So heel down, we should get no bass, lots of treble, and a little bit less gain. That didn't work because I didn't change the programming on the MIDI controller. That was silly of me. So right now the pedal is programmed properly. The MIDI controller is not sending the correct CC value. You can't make this stuff up. Here we are. So let's go back to the screen recording. And I am going to go, instead of drive, expression pedal. I'm gonna upload the changes, and now, hopefully, this will work. No bass, lots of treble. Heel up, we should start hearing less treble, more bass. There you have it. One more thing that you can actually do on the RJM editor itself and many other MIDI controllers is you can change per preset what overrides this global setting I've been doing. So far, I've just been doing a global setting. For every preset that you have saved on the Overture, this is what expression will do. If you want to override that per preset, let's say one preset you want to control volume, the next preset you want to control gain, bass, and treble. The next preset you want to control boost only. You can do that with overrides. Let's go back to the screen. So we're actually on our preset screen already, and you can go down here to expression pedal. This is expression pedal overrides, edit, and then you can override what you want to do for that preset here. It's a pretty cool way of being able to control your Overture. Lots of stuff that you can do here. Surely this pedal will be able to replace multiples that are on your board. Obviously you need to like how it sounds and the different available options on the pedal, but it is a handy unit that will get you playing more guitar and doing less tweaking on the pedal itself after you have it all programmed up and hooked up correctly on your board. Hopefully this has been helpful and you now understand how to control your Overture in greater detail and get the most out of everything it has to offer. We have not covered everything that Overture has to offer. There are a few other little details and little secrets that you can get from the user manual, so I encourage you to go there and check it out. Post your questions below, and we will see you next week for another video on the Goodwood Audio YouTube channel. See ya.